Delta to kick off, DVC to receive. Maximo Rodriguez will kick off for the Mustangs. Real-life return by number 19, Zane Crib. Tackle made by number 30, Angel Senna. Ball placed at the 36. First and 10 for the Vikes. Vikes in green and white. DVC headed toward the south end of the field. Delta defending the north.
As we come off an outstanding run right there on first down by Rayshon Alexander, we come to you, brought to you live in Vikings Stadium here at Diablo Valley College. I'm Logan Nones, and I'm brought to you here by the broadcast crew, here with my partner, Noah Williams.
How's it going, folks? Yeah, it's a beautiful day here in Pleasant Hill. Very adequate weather for a football game. Couldn't ask for a better setting as the sun sets here on the Vikings field, and we get ready for a competitive matchup between the Vikings and the Delta College Mustangs here on second down.
As Jared Hoyer drops back and throws over the cross of the middle, and it is picked off.
Baby.
Steal it from your mama. He got it. He took candy from your grandmama's house. He went down the sideline on second down. Delta College intercepts the possession, and it's going the opposite direction, folks.
And that's the thing, Logan. The second play from possession, he went in on a Sunday morning and stole his mama's pancakes, and now it's going the other way, and the Stangs got it.
My goodness, grab the butter, smear it all over them pancakes. He got that possession as Delta College is in DVC territory here.
And the Stangs will take over here on the Vikings' 38-yard line, and they're just already in great field position here and ready to make a pounce and get out early.
All right. As DVC shows a blitz, number 22, Tremaine Willis, to the end zone.
He gone.
He is gone.
Number 22, Tremaine Willis.
He had the chops, the lineman brought the bops. Bang, bang, chicken and grits. Shout out Coach Kenyon. Laugh sounded like a Clorox bottle. He got it done. That's a touchdown there for the Mustangs. What a great run.
My goodness. What a great run there by Tremaine Willis, number 22 for Delta College. Showing off the legs there. Fresh legs. Emulating rubber. Burn rubber. As they go out to the formation, they throw a screen pass out there to number 44, Jaquan Williams. As San Joaquin Delta goes up 8-0 against the Vikings, and the two-point conversion is good. Sorry, folks, we have technical difficulties up here in the booth for the broadcast team. As DVC transitions back onto the field, attempting to fight back against San Joaquin Delta. But Delta College striking fast with 13:44 in the first quarter. Delta College goes up 8-0.
Yeah, and the Stangs got off to a quick start. First they picked the ball off, took them just a play to get into the end zone, and as I said, that running back to have the chops, and now they're going to kick off to the Vikings, a lot like what we saw at the beginning of the game, except the Stangs have 8 points now.
As Delta's kick goes into the back of the end zone, the Viking offense plans on getting back onto the field, striking back, and trying to get an answer back to Delta's offense right here.
Yeah, and that's what you need exactly. If you're the Vikings offense here, you need to be thinking, I need to take control of this ball game and set the pace, come out here and execute the game plan. It's not too late to do that, and that's what they need to be looking for right here, Logan.
As DVC spreads into the pistol formation, quad set. Rayshawn Alexander in next to Joe Wood, who has replaced starting quarterback Jared Hoyer.
And that's just going to be too high of a pass, trying to look for his target on the left there, number 9, the receiver, but he couldn't quite find him. Joe Wood was incomplete. He was open. He had the time. It just seemed that he rushed the throw a little bit, threw it over.
Second down, still for the 25.
Second down and 10 at the 25 as Joe Wood waits for the snap. Chip set off to the left. Wood takes a snap, goes to the speed option, gets vertical upfield. Ooh, and he is pummeled. But getting vertical, getting some positive yardage there.
He got vertical, he got some yards, but he got taken to Suplex City, and you know once you go to Suplex City, there's no coming back.
Indeed, that freight train that brought him to Suplex City was number 52, Gabriel Jones, for Delta College. Great stop there by Jones and a heap of Delta College tacklers.
And even though the Vikings got some yards, you know, this is where they need to start picking up even some more yards. Now it's third down, and they need to get it first.
All right, going from the middle of the field in the quad set. Wood motions him up. Wood drops back, looks to the right side, and overshot there. And the pass was intended there for number 9, Justin Ross.
Yeah, again incomplete there. It looked almost like the same play that they ran on second down. Almost exactly the same throw as well. It was thrown over and wasn't able to complete the pass.
See, that's what you got to be able to adjust in game. If you're going to be able to run a play 2 times on a possession, you got to be able to adjust on the second time around. But we'll see how Joe Wood adjusts throughout this game. As the Vikings come out with their punt team.
And that's a high boomer of a kick. It spirals past the 50-yard line and hits down.
And a flag comes out as Delta seems to run into the DVC punter, giving DVC a first down, muy posible.
Seems to have been a roughing the kicker penalty.
And DVC is going to get the ball back on a roughing the kicker penalty, giving them another chance, a sparing breath
It
at
is
another
a sparing
offensive
breath.
possession here.
Indeed, a very sparing breath. They made some mistakes on the second drive, but some luck going the Vikings' way, able to convert on the third down off of a roughing the kicker penalty, and let's see if they can garner some momentum going in here as they near their own 50-yard line, or their 45-yard line.
And here, offset formation. Joe Wood awaiting the snap. First down from the 45-yard line. Rayshawn Alexander breaks through the middle, getting a 8-yard gain there on the carry.
Rayshawn putting the feet on the lawn and getting going. It's second down. He picks up a nice 8-yard gain, bringing it to a 2nd and 2. Very manageable here now for the Vikings.
As we gather their breath here, DVC breaking the huddle. Beautiful night here in Pleasant Hill.
It's a very beautiful night. The sun is setting over here in Vikings Stadium. It's just very adequate weather for a football game here tonight, ladies and gentlemen.
as Ray Jackson goes into motion.
And that's going to be a good run by Rayshawn Alexander, carrying the defender with them past the line, and he's able to pick up the first there on a tough run.
Exactly, and that's what's going to take this game. Tough runs over and over and over and over and over and over again, as Beast Mode said it.
And over and over and over and over and over again.
As Vikings
set up here another 1st and 10 for the Vikings.
Tight end set. Getting vertical is number 6, Isaiah Turner, going off tackle with the first down run.
Yeah, and you'll see the Vikings use a lot of different backs because they feel that a lot of their backs have a lot of unique qualities that they bring to the game of football, that they're able to bring something to the table and pick up some yards. They each have their own different characteristics. The Vikings have been struggling this season. They are 1-3 on the season against the 0-4 Mustangs team. And I feel that the team that wants it the most here is going to pick up the win.
Indeed, as Joe Wood comes out in pistol set, 2nd down from about the 40-yard line. He gets the snap as he cuts back to the right side. And a gang of Delta tacklers wrapping him down. As number 6, Isaiah Turner takes the carry. And seeing number 44, Jaquan Williams.
That's a good defensive stop there in the trench. The running back did what he can to get away from the defenders, but at the end of the day, when you make a defensive stop like that, there's nothing that the runner can do. And obviously that serves well for the defense here as they get ready for a 3rd and 4.
Yes, indeed, trying to weave through holes, but nothing found there. But here we go as Joe Wood anticipates this 3rd down, trying to get a first down in their territory, in Delta College territory. He looks to the right side, and it is swatted down. Say no, no, no. Matumbo, Trey Wortham, number 7, the defensive back on the swat.
Yeah, and he threw a pass in there on the inside. He looked off. And then the defender just made a great play there on the corner.
Indeed. And that pass was intended there for number 10, Roman Sahagan. And they're going to go for it on 4th down. DVC breaks their huddle, and their quarterback's going to stay on the field, motion them to the side.
Vikings
Joe
about
Wood
that
drops
action.
back. 3-step drop. He's getting pressured. He escapes. There's a flag on the play, but he continues to move upfield. He gets past the first down marker, and he is met by Delta College tacklers, but that's going to be a first down. But there's dirty laundry on the field.
There is dirty laundry on the field. Joe Wood made a great scramble out there, looking like a Michael Vick, honestly, on the Falcons, putting some moves on the defenders, making some ankles feel uneasy. Whew.
Yes, indeed. Great athleticism, but a comparison to Michael Vick, I say no.
Maybe that's fair, Logan.
All right. Well, the penalty is going to be in opposition to DVC as they...
Unfortunately, that... Yeah, the Vikings were called for a holding call there. The holding penalty is going to set them back. They're going to redo the play here, and they're still going to go for it. They got some moxie here. They about that action, boss.
My goodness, as they come back out, retrying to go for it on 4th down as Wood is pressured. But number 23, Ray Jackson on the reception, going out towards the flats near the 30-yard line.
That's what I'm talking about. That's a great catch right there. Threw it. The defense was all over him. It was a fight over the ball. He said, man, give me that thing. Give me that ball. He said, I want it. I want it all. He took that ball. He made that completion, and now the team has a first down.
Yes, indeed. Showing great lateral quickness there by Ray Jackson, getting out to the flat on the arrow reception as DVC spreads out on their short side of the field. Joe Wood taking the snap, handing it off to Ray Jackson. Ray Jackson getting vertical off to the right side. getting hit underneath by number 20, Anthony Crater Rhodes by Delta College, but gets a positive carry on that possession.
Yeah, and if you saw the right guard and the right tackle on that play, they did a great job of tandeming one defender on the defensive line, blocking them up, moving up to the second level with the linebackers, and opening a great hole for the running back to run through, and that's exactly what got them that 9-yard pickup right there.
Exactly, and one of them hard-working linemen is number 59, Tyler Clemens, who comes off the field after his helmet pops off, but excellent blocking there by DVC as they are not afraid to get raggedy in the trenches as Joe Wood takes the snap. And number 2, Rayshawn Alexander gets off to the right side, but there's a penalty flag in the backfield near Joe Wood. Possibly another holding call.
Oh, man, another holding call. That's not what you want if you're the Vikings. After a really good run, it looked like Alexander was looking to make a cut. His cleat slipped on the turf there, it looked like. Wasn't able to pick up the extra yards that he might have wanted, and there was a holding call on top of that. So now the Vikings are going to be set back with about a 2nd and 11.
Yes, indeed. Getting physical on the football field is always acceptable, but pulling anybody's clothing in any case is not okay. As DVC comes back, as they are on their right hash, Joe Wood takes the snap, surveys left, hits his short route, coming out of the backfield as he gets vertical, heading straight out of bounds near the 19-yard line.
Yes, sir. He got a little zippy on there. He put a little rinky-dink-dink pass all across the middle, was able to run it over to the first down across the chains, and a great job with the ball for getting yards after the catch, and that's a very underrated stat here in football. But that's exactly what got them the first down, and the Vikings are set up now in the red zone.
Indeed, that was a reception made by number 25, Demarie McKenzie. Excellent reception, getting the first down as DVC is in their own red zone here. Joe Wood surveys left, gets rid of the ball, and it is considered a dropped interception right there as number 45, Jonathan Garcia, slips right through his fingertips. He shouldn't have ate that popcorn before the game.
Yeah, too much popcorn chicken for the fella before the game, and maybe his finger's a little bit too greasy catching the pass. You know, he had it on his chest. Somebody might have ripped it out over by the sideline. Couldn't really tell. There was a lot of bodies over there, but fortunately for the Vikings, they are able to keep the possession of the ball.
Indeed. As DVC gets lucky here with the dropped interception as Joe Wood comes out on 2nd down on the 20-yard line. And he hands off to Ray Jackson. Ray Jackson getting off to the left side, getting vertical past the 10-yard line, and that's going to be a first down for the Vikings.
That looked like hurdle game to me on that. That's a hurdle game missed tackle right there. Great elusiveness by Jackson on that carry over by the left sideline. Able to get his left leg over the defender and pick up the extra yards for the first down. Now it's 1st and goal.
That elusiveness.
As
DVC comes back out on their own 9-yard line, hoping to gather next to this 8-0 lead by Delta College. As Joe Wood hands off to Ray Jackson, grinding and grinding up the middle.
Churning and grinding up the middle, even though it's not a lot, and even though it's not showful, he does get a 4-yard gain. Seems that somebody is hurt on the field for the Vikings.
Indeed, and a DVC player is writhing in pain here, and we're going to take a break as Delta College leads DVC as they are intending to score in their own red zone here at Vikings Stadium. And you're tuned into football here on Watch DVC Sports.
is number 78, Richard Rogers.
As the medical staff runs out to mend the DVC player who is being apprehended for the injury, you start to notice here the defensive battle that is going on here at Vikings Stadium.
Yeah, it is a defensive battle. You know, even though it's halfway through the first quarter, you can already tell. You can start to see the signs that most of this game is going to be made up of good defensive stops, good defensive possessions, good ways to halt the momentum of the offense and find a way to get back into their game plan. DVC's trying it, as are the Mustangs, and whoever executes that better, I think, is going to come out with the W.
And as we come back, as the offense comes back onto the field here at Viking Stadium.
My correction, ladies and gentlemen, that's Chris Strotter, number 78.
As number 78, Chris Strotter.
Yeah, you got to feel for the big fella coming off the field. You know, these players put a lot of work and time and effort into being able to step on that field and have the opportunity to be noticed as a football player, and you never wish it on anybody, even your enemies. It's tough to see somebody go down and exit the field with an injury. We hope that it's not serious, and we hope that he's well soon.
Yes, number 78, Chris Strotter, a big part of the DVC offense and defense.
Second and goal at the 5.
Comes out. Hopefully he is okay. As Joe Wood motions number 9, Justin Ross, across the field, and he puts up the fade to the back of the end zone, and it's going to be called a touchdown.
He caught that
DVC.
thing. He caught that thing. That was a great pass. Just floated it up there for him. Went up and grabbed it. Got his little tippy toes in, and he got that tug. And that's what I'm talking about. The Vikings are on the field.
And that was number 10, Roman Sahagan, catching the fade. I haven't seen a fade caught like that since I saw young Drew catch one in the middle of the road in Springs Road.
Yeah, that fade was like Scottie Pippen's high top fade back in '86. And it was just like Scottie Pippen's high top fade back in '86. It's just good to see. It's good to watch.
Ball goes back to the 15-yard line.
Indeed, JP's Barbershop was where I saw that fade caught. All right, as DVC comes back onto the field to try and attempt I'm mistaken, it is.
Unfortunately, Joe Wood is sacked on the play. He was trying to give him that work. But that defensive line on that play was about that action, boss. And Joe Wood realized, and so did everybody else in this stadium. That was a good sack, good defensive gang-up tackle on Joe Wood, who was trying to put the moves on.
And I am mistaken. They did not score on the first down play thrown to Roman Sahagan, so they came out on second down. But Joe Wood is unfortunately sacked as they come back on their own 25-yard line for third down. DVC in the quad set.
Yeah, crazy to think that they were on their own 5-yard line, and now
Joe
they're back
Wood
on
takes
25.
the snap and throws across the middle, but a flag is thrown as number 9, Justin Ross, puts on the moves. And does he turn on the jets to get to the corner? And he gets down to the 2-yard line for Justin Ross, but there's dirty laundry yet again laid down on the DVC field.
Yeah, some more dirty laundry thrown down by the refs. You got to start thinking that the Vikings got to hone in their skills. They got to focus just a little bit more so these flags aren't getting thrown, because they are making some good offensive plays.
Yes, indeed. The offense not holding DVC back, but the penalties that the offense is getting is holding them back here, not allowing them to catch up to Delta here. Continuing the red zone drive, but pushing it back all the way to the 40-yard line for DVC. One of the longest red zone drives I've ever seen.
This is just getting just a little bit ridiculous. They started on the 5, now they're on the 40. I mean, man, let's see how they get out of this.
For them having to eat up 40 yards or possibly eating up enough yards to get a field goal attempt here on third down, DVC comes out. But this is going to be a shot in the dark here for DVC, for they have 40 yards to eat up on this drive, and the snap is mishandled, but it is picked up by number 2, Rayshawn Alexander.
Oh, no.
And he puts a move on him.
Oh, stop.
Oh, stop it.
Oh, break it on the outside. Oh, my.
Reggie Bush.
Goodbye.
Oh,
It's
put
done.
on the platter.
Stop. I'm shaking. I can't take it. I can't take it. That's a tug, baby. Woo!
Take me to Applebee's and ask for the check. Rayshawn Alexander.
Sirloin, ribeye, steak, A1 sauce. It's over, baby. Rayshawn Alexander on a 3rd and 40. A 3rd and goal from the 40. He got the job done.
From the 40-yard line.
Go ahead, Alexander. I'm the only one to get the job done.
Why you got to give it to him like that, Ray? DVC narrows the gap here to 2 points as they go for this extra point.
My Lord.
My goodness, Rayshawn Alexander putting the moves on Delta College, and the field goal is blocked by number 99, Ronell Gabriel for Delta College. And DVC is going to be down still by 2 points after the very athletic run by Rayshawn Alexander, but a great effort by Ronell Gabriel, number 99 for Delta College, to block the PAT.
Yeah, and just when you were thinking DVC is going to get within major striking distance, I was even debating maybe they were going to go for the 2 or not. The field goal is blocked, and now instead of 1 point, it's 2. And you got to think maybe down the road that's going to make a huge difference in this ball game.
Indeed. And as DVC narrows the gap, Delta College still leads 8-6. As the special teams runs back onto the field. .432 left to go in the first quarter. As number 39, the kicker, Prom, runs onto the field.
Well, the sun is setting, the clouds are coming in over Viking Stadium. It's a beautiful dusk evening here in Pleasant Hill as the Vikings are set to kick off. The score is 6-8 for the Vikings.
As Prom launches it deep to the Delta return team. DVC coming out fast. And a gang of DVC tacklers. Wrapping up the Delta receptionist there, Daryl Kapule, on the return.
Yeah, not just a couple of tacklers on that kickoff, a whole gang of them. And that's what it's going to take on special teams. That's what makes the difference.
Indeed, and in a tough game like this, and we've seen it before in the past, special teams can play a huge role in what momentum the teams get in each possession.
Absolutely.
Ball at the 32.
Especially in close matchups such as this one, as Delta's only up by 2 points as they come up in the tight package. Hands off to the left side. That's number 22, Tremaine Willis, on the carry.
And that's a good run by the Mustangs. The running back just following his offensive guard all the way through the trenches, able to get a great gain. I think that's exactly what they were looking for, about a 6-yard gain.
As number 16, Shaw Nodal, surveys the field and hands it back off to Tremaine Willis, getting back off to the left side, getting a first down for Delta near their own 44-yard line, 46-yard line, excuse me.
Yeah, you can't really fault the Mustangs for their offensive play calling here. They keep giving it back to Willis, and why not? He's picking up the yards that they need to move him down the field.
Play action pass here by Delta College, and DVC trying to wrap up Willis, but it's not going to be enough for number 22 as he gets an 8-yard gain on the carry.
Yeah, just when you thought that play was going to get stuck right in its tracks, he ran over one of the Vikings defenders and kept moving his feet just like Adrian Peterson back in his heyday, and that's exactly what got him that 8-yard gain.
Yes, indeed. Not sharing the same stature as Adrian Peterson, but the same effort was Tremaine Willis, but as Delta gets here onto their own sideline. Pushing him out of bounds was number 3, Ryan Payne. as number 5, Xavier Johnson, was on the reception there, getting the first down for Delta College.
Here's the snap. Drop and he's dropped on
Von
the
Miller
play.
dance, Von Miller dance, Von Miller dance.
Demarius Lewison on the sack right there, and that's exactly what that Vikings defense needed. Right when that quarterback turned around, he was right there. The defender was ready to pounce on him, and that's about an 8-yard loss on the play for the Mustangs.
Indeed. Demarius Mutchinson meeting him right in the backfield, right in his face.
Right in his face.
Delta College faces a 2nd and long. Number 16, Shadner Dahl. Surveys, claps, in the spread formation, back off to the side, tries to give a flicker pass to Jermaine Willis, but he is met in the backfield.
Jermaine Willis tried to get the play going. He had some stuff cooking earlier, but he was met at the line of scrimmage by the defensive lineman, and it was going nowhere. He said no, he said no, he said no.
Yes, indeed, and that was number 32, Demarius Mutchinson, a keystone to the DVC defense, pushing Delta to a 3rd and long here as they near DVC's 49-yard line.
The thing you'll notice about the offense here is that they're moving very quickly, trying to mix up the Vikings defense. Here's the snap. Play action on the play. Taken all the way down the field, and it's dropped along the sideline. There are no flags, but just a great defensive play there by the Vikings defensive backs, and the Mustangs are not able to complete the pass.
And that was number 5, Josh Ramirez, and number 26, Isaiah Sahagan, there on the deep coverage as Delta tried to throw the ball deep as they tried to make something happen on a 3rd and long for a rushing attempt, would not really do anything in that situation, so they try to air it out near the sideline, and not good enough as Sahagan and Josh Ramirez play perfect defense.
The punt is muffed, and it's blocked by the Vikings, and it looks to be recovered by the Vikings as well.
The snap was mishandled and blocked by the Vikings, and it seems that they get the ball back near Delta's 45-yard line.
This is a great way to close out the first quarter, just when you think that punt was most likely going back deep into your own territory. They're able to come up with another bit of luck here, and the Vikings block the punt and are able to take over on offense in the Mustang territory.
As DVC gets a first down here on Delta's 46-yard line. As Hoyer comes back onto the field for this possession, as he is swapping with Joe Wood tonight. Pistol formation back behind the quarterback. As number 25, Demarie McKenzie, goes into motion.
There it is.
And Hoyer throws the deep ball.
He got them tugs. He dropped back in the pocket, threw it deep through the air, and found his receiver, number 23, Ray Jackson.
Put it on the board. That's a deep ball for number 23, Ray Jackson. My goodness.
Caught it along the sideline, brought it into the end zone right before the end of the first quarter, and now the Vikings have the lead here.
46-yard reception on the touchdown pass by Ray Jackson. As DVC goes up 12-8. An attempt for the PAT, and it's going to go through the uprights. And DVC changes the score differential, and they go up against Delta College 13-8 on the deep reception, 46-yard touchdown reception by Ray Jackson.
Yeah, a long, deep pass there. Just when you thought that the Vikings were losing a little bit of hope, being down 8-0 in the middle of the first quarter, they're able to mount a serious comeback within the span of 5 minutes and get back the lead, and now it's 13-8 for the Vikings, and now they're in charge. They have the the gas on the wheel, and let's see how the Mustangs can retaliate. Vikings set here to kick off. They're ahead 13-8 here in the minute and a half left in the first quarter. And the Mustangs will take the ball, kick, return from about the 7-yard line. Has some blockers ahead. And he falls down from one of his lead blockers.
And that's number 3, Daryl Capule, right there on the reception.
Down at about the 29-yard line. And the Mustangs will take over on offense.
A great display of athleticism on the last possession on DVC by Ray Jackson, sprinting down the sideline on a 46-yard reception. As we have seen him in the past, being able to run out of the backfield, being able to be motioned across the field, catch receptions deep. He's definitely a target out to look for.
Something to watch out for is the Mustangs running a quick and hurried up offense to keep the Vikings on their toes.
As they come out on the pistol set and he hands off, pushing the pile on the play as an offensive lineman loses his helmet.
You saw that big boy drop down on the pile. You did not want to be under there. That is where a lot of bruises and back aches and pains happen in football.
Indeed. I think he popped the defender, but that was number 76, Josiah Cortez, coming off the field as a mishap with his helmet. But great carry there by number 32, Austin Sith, pushing the pile forward as Delta comes out on their second down on their own 32-yard line. Ball carrier handed off, and he's going to be met at the line.
And he came in hard there, made the play at the line of scrimmage.
Excellent tackle there, met at the line of scrimmage there by Jordan Watley, laying the wood down.
Nothing more you could ask of your defense, especially in a situation like this as the clock is ticking down in a quarter. They got it. They got the offense in a particular situation here.
As they come out with the tackle and a little off-back set. And he tries to scramble out, and he is met in the backfield.
Great play by number 45.
Gideon Fala'u. Amazing sack there in athleticism as number 16, Shad Nadal, tried to escape the arm's reach of the DVC defender, but he was unable to, as he puts Delta into a fourth down situation as the time runs out of the first quarter, as DVC leads Delta College 13-8 here at Vikings Stadium. And we're going to take a break here. Yet again, DVC is leading Delta College 13-8 here at Viking Stadium, and you're tuned into football here on Watch DVC Sports. And we're back here at Viking Stadium as Delta College punts it off to DVC.
And that's
all the return team yelling, Peter, 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 get away from the football, as Ryan Payne is courageous enough to stay near the ball, but it's still going to be DVC's possession here near their own 36-yard line.
Yeah, they're down at the 36-yard line. was a bit of a weak punt. I'm gonna be honest with you. I mean, I was expecting more out of the punter, trying to get it deeper into the Vikings territory. But I mean, good for the Vikings. They got the ball at the 36, and let's see if they got something brewing here.
Indeed, the result not intended by the punter, but definitely an attempt at trying to corner the DVC defense. Offense, excuse me, but as they're in the pistol formation, hands off to number 2, Rayshawn Alexander, to the left side, trying to dilute the Delta defenders with the motion.
Yeah,
off to the right side.
Alexander took that ball. He was running through the line like he wanted to get some. He wanted some yards. He wanted some first downs. He wanted some tugs. But that was a good stop by the defensive line to halt his momentum because he was coming through the hole hard.
2nd and 6.
Indeed, as DVC comes out on 2nd and 6. Tight end formation here as they come out in the tight pistol set. As number 12, Jared Hoyer, sets the receiver into motion. Play action, off to the right side, and it's going to go through the hands of number 25, Demarie McKenzie.
Yeah, McKenzie had him on the curl. He had a great route. Motion in the backfield by the receiver to offset the defense. The play was there. The execution just wasn't.
As a common rule by John Madden states, if it hits your hands, you got to catch the football.
Oh, you got to catch the football, son.
As Hoyer comes out on 3rd down, DVC trying to seize an opportunity here. Handoff in the backfield. Quick moves as he tries to drive towards the 1st down.
Something about me makes me think that he got that 1st down. He wanted it. He put on the moves, especially breaking left across the middle of the field. Way to get those ankles uneasy on the defense.
Definitely, if you were to measure his effort there, number 23, Ray Jackson, that would be measured as a 1st down, but will it actually be metrically calculated as a 1st down right here?
I think that's going to be just short, Logan.
My goodness,
By
they might have
inches.
to bring the chains out.
Chain gang.
Calling all the dogs. The chain gang represented by the baseball team as Mike Manley and Christian Villa run out to the field to measure this possible 1st down, showing great effort running onto the field onto the opposite side hash. And it's going to be short for DVC.
That's going to be just short.
You could put a corn dog in the middle of that. That is just short. Possibly a size of a cracker length. And it's going to be short.
A toothpick wouldn't fit in that size. That's unbelievable. So close to a 1st.
As Michael Manley stands midfield.
Seems that they're still judging based off of the distance from the ball to the chain. There seems to be some confusion on if it's set in the right place.
And that's going to be forced into a 4th down and about a couple inches. But they're going to come back onto the field as they set their punt team out onto the field. DVC faces a 4th down on their own 45.9 yard line.
I think it's the right call here to go ahead and get the punt. Your defense has been playing pretty decently as of late in this game. Go ahead and punt them down and put them in a situation where they're uncomfortable in their own territory and see if you can get the ball back for some points.
Indeed, there was no receiver back there to take the punt for Delta College as DVC puts it off.
That's going to get a good bounce.
And that's going to get a lucky bounce there for DVC. And it is down there by number 36, Benjamin Yalipa. And that's going to be a 1st down for Delta College as we're going to take a quick break as DVC leads Delta College 13-8. And Delta College is going to try to come out on this 1st down and drive down the field. And we're here live on at Viking Stadium for DVC football on Watch DVC Sports. Delta coming out in the spread formation. And he's going to be met in the backfield by number 91, Ravine Nasile.
Ooh, Nasile brought the Aunt Jemima. He spread some syrup on that pancake. He got him in the backfield. You know how I like it. Bang, bang, chicken and grits.
Indeed, he served up some breakfast on that hit. But that is not an easy hit to take for the quarterback. As Delta comes back out, and DVC showing a blitz. And he's going to knock it down. And it's going to be considered an incomplete pass as number 45, Gideon Falau, deflecting the intended pass out to the right side. And Ryan Payne picking up the deflection.
That's a huge play by the defender on the deflection there. This is a pivotal moment in the game. These drives right here where the score is based off of 6 to 7 points. This is where things could tip in the balance of either team, and that's just a great defensive possession right there.
Indeed, as Delta comes out into the trips formation, trying to flip it out, and it's going to be considered a fumble. Not getting any positive yardage on the play, and it's going to be picked back up by a Delta offender.
A little bit of sloppy offense there by the Mustangs, fumbling it in the backfield. I know the quarterback was trying to get away from those defensive linemen. They're big, they're scary, but at least throw it off to where nobody else can get it.
Indeed, maybe an ill-advised pass there to try and flick it out, possibly try and get it out of bounds on an attempt, but getting lucky there. Delta getting the ball back, but they're going to still be forced into a 4th down here as number 5, Josh Ramirez, goes back for DVC, waiting for the reception of the punt.
This is the situation the Vikings want to have the Mustangs
almost getting
in.
the block there, DVC. Ramirez receives it near the 40-yard line. Tries to shimmy sham his way through there. And he's going to get up past Delta's 50-yard line.
Yeah, that's a good punt by Rodriguez, but I think it was an even better punt return by the punt returner there. He caught it moving over his shoulder, running backwards, catching it over his shoulder, turning around, and being able to churn out 15 yards out of it and protect the football all at the same time, get the ball past midfield. I'd say that's pretty successful.
Indeed, I've seen some courageous catches on punts done by a fellow teammate of mine, Antoine Custer, who's up at Eastern Washington.
Shout out Antoine Custer.
But indeed, he would stop the ball from rolling and getting a lucky bounce for the punting team as DVC comes back out here. Joe Wood taking the snap, handing off to number 2, Rayshawn Alexander. Give him a little ooh-wop spin on that one.
He mashed the circle button on that. If we're going off of Madden rules, he put him in the spin cycle, and it was not pretty.
Whoop! As Rayshawn Alexander gets the 9-yard gain. About second and a yard to go here as Joe Wood and DVC comes back off in the pistol trips formation, surveying the field. Delta College showing a heavy set on the defensive side, and it's going to work. Ooh! And stop number 6, Isaiah Turner, dead in the backfield.
He stopped him dead in the backfield, and you know that's got to hurt when a big boy like that comes and bops you in the back of the field.
Exactly, and that's the closing speed that you like to see, being able to get to the ball carrier before the ball's even handed off. Excellent job there by Delta's defense to stop number 6, Isaiah Turner, in the backfield. As DVC comes back out for 3rd down, and about 5 yards to go. Trips offset. Running back moves over to the left. Wood surveying the field, and that's going to be
blatant.
That's going to be blatant, folks. You cannot do that.
Yeah, I don't know if he's confused, but that's just not how you can play the game of football. That's breaking the rules, son. You can't do that. It's going to be a 5-yard penalty at least, isn't it?
And we're going to see a possible mesh, and they're going to move it back for DVC, possibly flinch, but the defender for Delta going through the line of scrimmage, but possibly deking the offender, making him move. But DVC is going to be moved back 5 yards.
These are the penalties that tip the balance and momentum here in the game. You can't afford penalties like that, just silly penalties.
As they come back out on 3rd down, 3rd and 10 here, Joe Wood drops back, and he's going to be met by a Delta defender hard.
He said, Wood, meet the floor.
Indeed, that's number 50, Amari White. laying the wood down on Joe Wood in the Vikings backfield, forcing a 4th down. And that's great closing speed there, getting off the line of scrimmage, not letting Wood get the ball off, giving him zero chance to be able to get the ball off there to a receiver. And that's just an excellent defensive stop. But it's just an excellent display from Delta's defense, being able to close and put pressure on the quarterback as they force a 4th down on this possession. And Delta sending the house on this return. But it's going to be a fair catch there by number 3, Daryl Kapule. As we near 9 minutes here at Vikings Stadium, as Delta College gets the ball back with about 9 minutes left here in the second quarter. What do you think the keys are here, Mr. Williams, to the offense of Delta College going against this? It seems to be a little size difference between the DVC defense and the Delta College offense. What do you think the keys are for Delta?
Well, first of all, Logan, I just think that the Mustangs are doing a great job on defense, first and foremost. That last hit on the quarterback totally impressed me. It was unbelievable.
As Delta gets the handoff off, and I believe that is right. They're going to have to get positive yardage here as number 22, Tremaine Willis, on the carry.
Let's give credit to 36, Benjamin Yalapa. Ball to 35.
As Delta comes out, 2nd and about 2 on their own 35. Getting the snap off, and he's going to get free of the defender, and pass is incomplete. As Ryan Payne catches the penalty flag.
Seems to have been some kind of pass interference on the defender, and maybe number 3 knows about it.
His pass was intended for number 15, Devon King, on the right sideline near DVC. As Delta College is going to be moved up to their own 45-yard line.
Yeah, and Logan, like I was saying, I think the Mustangs are doing a great job with their aggression. Even though they're still down in the ball game, you know, they're still battling it out, being competitive and aggressive with these Vikings.
And of course, they're going to be aggressive because they're only down by 5 points as they try to launch it up in the air. And it's going to be off to the sideline there. Excellent defense played there by number 14, Matthew Larks, on the Delta sideline. And a great display there of footwork and being able to turn his hips and cover the receiver on that one.
Yeah, that's great form there by the defensive back. Throwing his hips over, like you said, Logan, locating the ball, locating the receiver, and being able to put an arm in there and create some disruption so that pass can't be completed. That's what the defense wants.
Indeed, as number 90, Chad Senegal, runs off the field. DVC showing a loaded defensive stack here on this one.
The ball looks to have been kept by the quarterback. Tried to run it up the middle. He was met after about a 2-yard gain by the linebacker for the Vikings. So a good defensive stop there. So he only gets about a yard. It's going to be 3rd and 9.
Indeed, number 16, Darrell Walker, keeping the ball on that one, getting a couple yards, but not enough, as they force a 3rd down for DVC. And he gets upfield, gets a little bit vertical, as he is met near the V in the middle of the DVC field, as number 26, Isaiah Sahagan.
Yeah, you'd look to keep the ball there again.
Wrapping up the ball carrier. As DVC forces a 4th down, and the punt team for Delta College runs onto the field. And number 5, Josh Ramirez, heading back to receive. As DVC does a great job shutting down the run game here with about 7 minutes left to go in the second quarter. And the punt gets off as Ramirez gets the punt.
Oh, he dropped him.
And he puts the moves on him. And he splits through some defenders.
Oh, stop.
And he gets up to the 40-yard line. And he gives DVC First down near the C in midfield.
Yeah, and I think that's easily the best return of the night so far. Just cutting upfield, making sure that defenders are missing. He even made a boy fall. I mean, it was just disgusting. I mean, just disrespectful. He made the boy fall. He got upfield, and he was able to get a nice punt return. That's 2 in a row there.
Indeed. And playing special teams is kind of like being a kamikaze jet fighter. As you're running full speed toward each other, being able to evade defenders is easily seen and displayed here tonight at Vikings Stadium, as the special teams receivers are not afraid to dive right in with those kamikazes.
Kamikaze indeed, Logan. Kamikaze indeed.
Here we go as Joe Wood hands the ball off to Rayshawn Alexander, and he is met hard by number 52, Gabriel Jones. Not afraid to lead with some contact there and laying the wood there on Rayshawn Alexander.
Yeah, and Logan, speaking of kamikaze, who do you think won the rap battle between Machine Gun Kelly and Eminem?
I think I'm going to have to give that to Eminem, but that's going to be a debate for a long time.
Long time to come.
But here we go. DVC coming back out. Joe Wood onto the field in pistol formation. Offset eye. As DVC here is on second down. Handing up the middle to Rayshawn Alexander. Because there seems to be a little bit of grappling of the face mask, but it's not going to be called there. But it's going to be called clean as Delta College shuts down the middle of the field right there as Rayshawn Alexander tried to get up through the holes.
Rayshawn Alexander did try to get through the holes up there on the offense on the run. The defenders pulled him back like Scorpion, and they just said, get over here, and he was not going anywhere. Now it's going to be 3rd down and 5. Let's see what the Vikings got working here.
Yeah, let's see what DVC has to offer on this 3rd down. For they are not afraid to throw the ball deeper, throw in some trickery. But they still lead here, so as number 23, Ray Jackson, motions over as Wood gets the ball off to the right side. Excellent reception there by number 10, Roman Sahagan, a key receiver in this offense.
Sahagan with a great catch with the snag. Caught it with his hands, made a great cut up field, and was able to pick up some extra yards after the catch. Joe Wood and Sahagan working there together for a great offensive play and a 1st down.
Indeed, we've seen chemistry being able to be flowed through Joe Wood and Jared Hoyer. For Sahagan seems to be his favorite, both of the quarterbacks' his favorite receiver, for he is always reliable. As Wood takes the snap, drops back, and he gets rid of it down to the bottom side.
My!
And
he gone.
He gon' be gone to the 10, to the 5.
Touchdown, baby. It's gone.
He threw up the piece like Tyreek Evans. Like Tyreek Hill.
Don't turn off that dial yet, ladies and gentlemen. We got ourselves a ball game here as the Mustangs pick the ball off of Joe Wood and take it all the way back for a touchdown.
As number 7, Trey Wortham, takes back the 60-yard interception for Delta College, putting them up 14-13 here as Delta intends to go for 2 here on this PAT, spreading back out.
Little confusing trickery here.
Into a trickery formation. And flags are going to be thrown.
Flags are thrown.
But an excellent play by number 7, Trey Wortham, on the last play, being able to jump the route, being able to read the eyes of the quarterback, turning his hips, jumping the route, running it all the way back. That is a great display of talent and ability, and D1 coaches want to see that.
Yeah, that's a textbook defensive play right there, catching the ball, bringing it all the way back for 6 points for your team. That's exactly what you want. You literally couldn't ask for more from the defense.
Indeed, some people want the knockdown, some people want the interception, and giving it back to the offense. I want the pick 6, baby.
They want the pick 6. They want those points for themselves.
Indeed. Trying to affect the ball game any way he can. Trey Wortham.
Just when you thought the Vikings were garnering some momentum here, opening the ball game up, the Mustangs take back control of the game, kick the PAT, and now they are up 15-13.
as Delta College leads DVC after an interception thrown by Joe Wood. We're seeing a great display of defense here tonight at Vikings Stadium, showing that Delta has given their offense a chance and the ability to keep the lead with 2 interceptions tonight and 2 key interceptions tonight against Joe Wood. As the return team runs onto the field, Delta College leads DVC 15-13 with 4:34 left to go in the second quarter.
Yeah, now we're going to see what the Vikings are made of. They made a mistake, but it's going to be how they get back up.
And it's going to be number 19, Zane Cribb, and number 14, Matthew Larks, back to take the reception for the Vikings. And Matthew Larks takes it off to the left side, finding some space, and he gets a block, bang, bang! Cactus Jack! Matthew Larks going to the house!
He brings it all the way back to the black paint, and he's doing his dance. There you go, boy. That's what I like to see. Got in, took the ball, and took it all the way back to the end zone. There might be a flag from the big hit block that we saw over by the 45-yard line by the Vikings. To be honest, I thought it was a clean hit, Logan, but it seems to me that the referees have thrown some laundry on the field.
Indeed, and there's going to be a flag back near the 35-yard line as we might see this play coming back on the excellent block, but we believe that the penalty was thrown because the return team member did not extend his arms on the hit, and he did not have the head turned from the person receiving the hit, so they're going to throw a penalty on that. Just for the new safety rules that they have brought up in the past 5 years. And we've seen a whole bunch of changes in the advancements of concussion protocol and everything. So they're going to take the safety road on this one and bring that ball back. But it's going to take back the touchdown that Matthew Larks displayed on this one, as Jared Hoyer is in the backfield, pistol formation, hands off to Rayshawn Alexander through the middle.
He's going to get about a 3-yard gain on the play. Rayshawn Alexander following a tiny hole through the middle brought by his center and his right guard. He's going to gain about 5 yards on the play, so it's going to be 2nd and 5 for the Vikings. Clock ticking down, just under 4 minutes here in the second half, or the second quarter, I mean.
Indeed, and that's just unfortunate for DVC as they had that kick return called back, but they're going to try and produce something here. Here's 2nd and about 6. As Hoyer surveys off to the right side, getting a ball off into the flat. Gaining just past the first down marker is number 10, Roman Sahagan.
Sahagan with
reception.
A simple little bubble route on the right side of the field there. Hoyer able to throw the ball out and just let his receiver do the work, create some space, use his athleticism to get up the field and gain the first down. Great play.
Yeah, we're going to see how Hoyer adjusts here, being able to bounce back after the unfortunate penalty call.
Very unfortunate.
So we're going to see how strong he could stay here if he could push DVC into their own end zone. As number 23, Ray Jackson, turns on the Jets into the secondary of the Delta defense, getting the first down for the Vikings.
Ray Jackson put the boosters on his shoes when he got that ball. He said, "Ain't nobody touching me, son. I'm getting up this field. I want some touchdowns."
He said Jimmy Neutron got a blast. Ray Jackson getting past the 50-yard line on the Delta's side. He is spotted at the 43-yard line as DVC gets a first down.
Yeah, it's going to be 1st and 10 here. Now they're in the Mustangs' territory. He's back in the pistol formation.
Trip set, pistol formation on their right hash. Hoyer turning left, handing it off to Rayshawn Alexander. Alexander getting up to about the 39-yard line on the 5-yard carry.
That's the thing you'll notice about Alexander throughout this game. He's gotten just about the majority of the runs for the running backs this game. He's doing a great job continuing to run the ball hard, being tough, slugging it out there with those tough defenders, and putting his team in good position to win the game.
Indeed, not a back of great stature, but showing great effort and chugging of the legs through the middle of the field on all his carries. Is Rayshawn Alexander as he gets the carry again, running through tacklers, getting up to about the 34-yard line for DVC.
Yeah, he gets the ball carry there again. Just another display of the tough running. Not going to be quite enough for the first down, it seems, but a very manageable third down here in short.
As clock is running down here in the first half at Vikings Stadium, DVC nears a third and short situation. Trips off to the short side of the field. Alexander in the backfield. Hoyer turns to his back, and there is nowhere to go for Alexander as number 50, Amari White, met him right as he received the handoff from the quarterback Hoyer.
Yeah, when you see Amari White, a guy like Amari White with some pads on, coming through the back of the field, and you're the running back getting that ball, and as soon as you get the ball, he's there to meet you at the line of scrimmage. There's really nothing that you're thinking of except for, oh man, what am I going to do to prepare for this hit? There's nothing that the running back could do there, and now it's going to be fourth down. The Vikings are going to go for it.
Indeed, the 6'3", 248-pounder from Berkeley, Amari White on the last tackle. But DVC is going to show some courage coming back out and going for it on fourth down. Hoyer going off to the left side.
Picked off again.
And it's going to be picked off by the Stangs. With 49 seconds to go here in the first half, number 7, Trey Wortham.
Didn't have to do much, just jumped up. Easy as taking candy from a baby. Took that ball, and now it's the Mustangs' ball. And they're going to see if they can put some points up on the board before the first half ends with about 49 seconds here left to play. And they're already up by 2 points.
Diablo Valley not being able to get some momentum on any possession here as they are forced to fourth downs on a couple of drives other than the long, deep ball to number 23, Ray Jackson, earlier in the game. They've been facing fourth downs and either thrown an interception or had to punt the ball off. As number 7, Trey Wortham, yet again, getting the ball back for their offense. Delta College coming out. As number 16, Shadner Dahl, has a play action.
Too low for the receiver there on the left side near the sideline. So now it will be 2nd and 10 with about 42 seconds left here. Ball on the 22-yard line.
About 10 yards to go here on the second down after the incomplete pass by Nordal. Delta College at their about 18-yard line as time is running down here in this quarter.
A screen
and that's going to be
pass
considered an incomplete pass in the backfield.
It's an incomplete pass. They were looking for a quick little dump screen on the left side there, running up under his blockers, seeing if he can pick up a good chunk of yards, but no go as the receiver drops the pass there.
Indeed, unfortunately dropped an incomplete pass there intended for number 88, Leon Smith Jr. As Delta comes back out in this 3rd and 10 situation.
Wrapped
and
him up.
Wrapped up like a Crunch Wrap Supreme in the backfield. My goodness.
He took him to Taco Bell, Logan.
They're met by the number 22, Ativa Maua Clemens in the backfield. Excuse me for the wait. I had to get the pronunciation on that one. But Ativa on the sack in the backfield.
He came in like a hot missile on that play, and there was nothing that the quarterback could do on that play. He was doomed for a big hit.
As a timeout is called on the field, we are going to take a break here as DVC is down against Delta College 15-13 with about 30 seconds left here in the second quarter. and you're tuned into football here on Watch DVC Sports. As Delta faces a fourth down here, their punt team comes out. DVC sends the house, almost getting the punt, and Josh Ramirez receives it near the C of the 40-yard line for DVC, and he is met at about the 47-yard line. Josh Ramirez, but a great punt there by Maxwell Rodriguez for Delta College.
Yeah, my boy, the punt returner, tried to get another good return there. He was about to make that 3 in a row. Unfortunately, the punt team was able to get down there just a little bit quicker this time, and he was only able to get about 5 yards on the carry.
Indeed. About 20 seconds left to go in the second quarter, with the DVC trying to narrow the deficit and possibly get ahead here against Delta College, only down by 2 points going into the second half. As Hoyer motions to Hagan into the trip set to the left side. Hoyer looking deep. As a helmet pops off an offender for DVC, and he finds number 2, Rayshawn Alexander, near the sideline, but it's going to be against his chest and it is dropped. And that is the golden rule. Not to let the ball get into your chest, but to get the ball out front. But that was just an unfortunate circumstance there by Rayshawn Alexander, as usually he displays athleticism, being able to receive the ball and get upfield and get yards after the carry, or after the reception, excuse me, but just unfortunately letting it hit his chest on that play.
Yeah, you don't want the ball to hit your chest. Shout out to Coach Tuffley, wide receivers coach at De La Salle. If that was an arrow, you'd be dead.
As Hoyer motions to Hagan on the short side, Hoyer, escaping the pressure, steps up, and he finds a receiver sliding across about the 28-yard line. Is number 10, Roman Sahagan, coming across the field. Excellent athleticism showed there by Hoyer and Sahagan. Hoyer showing great senses, Spidey-like senses on that one, being able to escape the pocket.
Oh, yeah, his spider senses were definitely tingling. He had to come up into the pocket. He felt those boys coming. He felt the heat. He felt the pressure. He needed to get the ball off. And luckily, he was able to find a receiver open downfield and get the first down.
An excellent throw there and catch by Sahagan and Hoyer. The 1-2 combo there. We're going to take a timeout here at Vikings Stadium with about 3 seconds left in the second quarter, as DVC is still down 15-13, and we're going to be back here for the last play of the second quarter. And you're tuned into football here on Watch DVC Sports. And DVC is sending out their field goal unit on this play.
Let's see how this goes.
And that's number 39, Prom.
It's going to be about a 57-yarder.
Yes, indeed. 35.
I'm sorry, about a 40-yarder.
And the whistle's going to be blown as he gets the kickoff, and that would have been a great attempt there by Prom. But the whistle's going to be blown right before the play.
Right before the kick was sent through the uprights. They called a timeout to ice that kicker. Can't really blame the Mustangs, but that's definitely got to be irritating for the Vikings kicker right there.
A very strategic timeout called there by Delta College. That might set off some fumes on DVC's sideline, but excellent strategy there by Delta, being able to call the timeout right before the kick was off. But yet again, a close matchup here for DVC, and they're going to reset some time on the clock.
It's definitely a competitive matchup here between the Vikings and the Mustangs. We knew it was going to be a close back and forth contest, and we're getting exactly what we anticipated and exactly what we expected, as it's a 15-13 ball game as the Vikings look to take the lead by 1 with a last-second field goal here in the first half.
As Prom sets up again, and he goes from the left hash.
Attaboy!
And it's going to be good on the 40-yard attempt by Prom.
They can't stop you. Go ahead and run into the locker room, boys. You deserve it. That's a good kick.
And that's going to be an excellent display of the leg there. Maybe emulating robo-leg on that one, being able to kick that one kind of like Sebastian Janikowski, my favorite Raider.
Janikowski with the kick. He looked like RoboCop's leg right there, just booting that thing all the way through the uprights. And now the Vikings are back on top as the first half comes to an end here.
Indeed, and that's prominence, setting DVC 1 point above Delta College here, 16-15 as they head into the locker room for halftime. And an excellent display of defense, and it's a close matchup here, as we've seen 3 interceptions caused by the Delta defense, and excellent display of run game and run shutdown game here by both the offense and defense of Diablo Valley and Delta College.
Yeah, definitely. It's been a good first half here.
As we're going to take a quick break here and give you a quick recap here at halftime. DVC is now up against Delta College, 16-15, heading into halftime. And you're tuned into football here on Watch DVC Sports. And we're back from halftime here at Vikings Stadium as San Joaquin Delta College receives the second half kickoff as Prom sets up the kick. And we're off. The second half has started. Good kick, almost into the end zone as Delta College takes it back. Near the 25-yard line, just about the same as a touchback on the reception.
Yep, just about the same as a touchback. Might have wanted to just take a knee, but oh well. You know, he wanted to run it out. He wanted to get some action. I respect it.
I believe that was number 3, Daryl Kapule on the return for Delta College. And we're seeing a tight matchup tonight, Noah, as the score is 16-15 here in this opening third quarter.
Yes, it is indeed. It's a very tight game here. The score is only 16-15, decided off of 1 point. You can tell that these teams are evenly matched as the quarterback throws it off into the flat to the tight end, and the Vikings are able to make a stop right when the ball is caught, and that will bring up about a 2nd and 9 after a gain of 1.
Indeed, a play-action pass and tossed out to number 83, Cameron Calderon, off to the right side for Delta College. As number 16, Sean Nadal, gets ready in tight formation, back off to the side, and he throws it deep off to the left side.
Oh, what a catch!
And he mossed him.
Off on the sideline. Go ahead and flex on him, boy. That's
and
a
he
good
is
catch.
Flexing on that sideline. As number 5, Xavier Johnson, that is not a boy, mama. That is a grown man.
That's a grown man catch right there on the sideline. I hate to say it, but he mossed him. He just completely mossed him. He caught the ball right over his head. Here's the hurry-up offense by the
DVC
Stangs.
and the chains aren't even set up yet.
One more time.
And he's off to the left side to Xavier Johnson, and it is not completed as a great defensive stop there by number 14, Matthew Larks. For he is not afraid to contest Johnson on that deep ball, going back-to-back for Delta College, 96-97, Michael Jordan and Pippen.
Whoa. Yeah, and they were trying to go back-to-back like 96-97 Jordan and the Pippen Bulls. The disrespect was blatant to the corner, who obviously got mossed on the first play and made a great play on the second attempt.
All right, here we go, and there's going to be a carry up to the middle by number 22, Tremaine Willis. And that's going to be a first down for San Joaquin Delta College as they move the chains. And they're going to get going before the chains even get set up and DVC gets set up. But he sets it's a full house.
The ref fell.
And the ref falls down, but that was number 45. That was number 45, Gideon Falua.
Yeah, it seems as if the Mustangs were trying to get off early, you know, keeping the Vikings on their toes on defense like I've been saying all night, and they were going for that. Unfortunately, it caused just a little bit of sloppiness, and so that play goes for no yards. As you could also see, the ref was even so on his toes that he fell down on the play, and there was nobody even there to break his ankles.
Yes, indeed, and actually I don't believe he was on his toes. He was too far on his heels on that one, sat back too far. Mark Wine squat fundamentals right there. But anyways, there's going to be a face mask call on DVC, and Delta College is going to get the first down. Tight end off to the right.
Off the 19-yard line.
And that's going to be a play action tossed out. And he's going to be met in the backfield, not being able to get the ball off quite right. And that's number 22, number 32, Demarius Mutchinson.
Yeah, the quarterback tried to get the ball out there, but he got boo-bopped, little boo-bop in the backfield, and he felt the pain on that hit. He wasn't able to get the ball off to where he needed it to get to. It's going to be 2nd and 10 now from the 13-yard line.
As Delta comes out, 2nd and 10 on their own 13, on DVC's 13-yard line, And they're coming out, back off to the left. Slot off to the right. As Nerdal takes the snap. Play action, off to the left to Xavier Johnson. And it is a great defensive stop there by Matthew Larks. Not enough extension there by Xavier Johnson being able to receive the ball but a great play deflected down by Matthew Larks.
Hey, you know what, Logan? In a sense, that was the right play call right there because he was throwing it to their star receiver. He lofted it out. He gave him a chance to go up and get it, but just a great defensive play by the corner there to interrupt the pass, and now it's 3rd and 10 from the 13.
Exactly, and there's going to be a flag on the play right here, and it seems like it was made before the ball.
Oh, my!
And that's going to be towards the back of the end zone and caught, and it's going to be called a touchdown. But will this play come back? I don't know, but that's number 15. Davon King.
Hallelujah, he has risen, and yes, he did rise on that play, going up to receive the ball in the end zone. Even if the flag sets him back, you gotta admire the athleticism on display on that play.
And as Delta declines the penalty, they're going to call it a touchdown in the back of the end zone for King, and that's going to be a touchdown for Delta College.
6
and they're going to
points.
go up 21-16 here in the 3rd quarter.
Like I said, the Mustangs and the Vikings just trading blows, and we come into the second half, and the Mustangs are the latest to come up on the scoreboard, and now they have the lead once again. A lot of lead changes in this game.
A drive set targeting Xavier Johnson practically the entire drive. A keystone to the offense here for Delta, but being able to get to the back of the end zone. Excuse me. King on the reception for the touchdown, but still attacking King.
We got more
Johnson
dirty laundry on the
outside.
play.
But there's a false start on this play for the PAT attempt. It's going to be moving him back against Delta here.
It's going to make the field goal just a little bit harder to attempt. Let's see if the kicker can still do his job from just a little bit more farther away.
An attempt to re-kick here. As Delta goes up against DVC with a deep ball reception in the back of the end zone as the point after is off, and it is good through the uprights. And Delta College is going to lead DVC 22-16 in the 3rd quarter after a very miraculous back of the end zone catch there by Devon King.
Yeah, the Mustangs came out on the field to start the second half, and they did exactly what they were planning to do and exactly what they wanted to do. They came out and they put up 7 points on the board, and now they're up here on the Vikings by a score of 6 points here with about 13 minutes left in the 3rd. Let's see what the Vikings can do to come back.
And you know a little bit about receiver being able to get to the back of the end zone on that catch. What's the fundamentals on that one in the technique?
Well, the fundamentals on that, especially on a play like that when the corner's playing so close, it's called press coverage, ladies and gentlemen. You got to get off the line of scrimmage, and that's probably the most important thing. Getting off the line of scrimmage, getting a burst of speed, stacking that defender, and then making your cut to the back of the end zone, rising up at the top of the height of the ball and making a good play.
Exactly, and it's the height of the ball that the quarterback also has to apprehend in that possession there, getting the ball to the top and having it ball high, so then possibly not getting it intercepted to the back of the end zone. But
absolutely,
as DVC comes back out, as Matthew Larks takes the kickoff, and he's going left, and he's going to be met by number 6, Alex Valencia Perez there on the kickoff team from Delta College.
Yeah, I gotta admire the moxie of the returner there, trying to run off to the left, not upfield, trying to create some space, something to get going on the kick return. Unfortunately, it didn't pay off for him that time, and he stopped behind the 15-yard line here for 1st and 10.
Indeed, we've seen the speed of Matthew Larks displayed, whether it's on the return team or on the defense covering a receiver. He's able to turn his hips and keep up with the best receivers in this game, but not able to get past the 20-yard line or the 25 there by Matthew Larks as DVC comes out with a first down in this 3rd quarter. 13 minutes to go as Hoyer in the pistol set formation with the H back to the left as Rayshawn Alexander tries to escape the backfield. But a very short gain there by Rayshawn Alexander as he ran into his own lineman, number 78, Christian Strotter.
Yeah, Alexander looked like he got...
Excuse me.
Problem. He got engulfed back there in the backfield, and it looked like it was going to go for no gain or even behind the line of scrimmage, but he was able to fight his way forward, usually as he does, and make sure that there's no negative.
And as you saw there, his legs continue to turn even though he had first contact, but that's the difference maker here in this ball game.
Absolutely. 2nd and 10, still from the 14.
Hoyer tosses it out to Alexander. Alexander putting on some jets, and he gets into open field. Meep. Number 10 trying to track him down. Oh, and he sets him down, boy.
Oh, don't do
My
it to
goodness.
him. Alexander with a huge run up the right sideline.
Mayonnaise salami sandwich, put a move on him. Getting upfield, attaboy for Rayshawn Alexander.
I mean, he was doing nothing but eating and gobbling up yards like a Pac-Man with the helmet on. That was absolutely incredible, and now the Vikings are set up with the first down in the Mustangs territory.
As DVC comes out, Hoyer leading, having a little bit of momentum here on this drive. H-back formation. As Hoyer tries to get the ball up in time, and he does not, so that's going to be a delay of game penalty for DVC, as they cannot seem to separate from these penalty flags, getting an unfortunate call pretty much on every drive.
Yeah, and in retrospect and ultimately, the Vikings are going to look back, regardless if they win or lose, and say this is the one thing that we need to cut back on. You can definitely tell that the penalties are starting to rack up a lot of yards, and you got to think that the Vikings would be in a much better position if they were just a little bit more disciplined on the offensive line, especially with the false starts. You know, the penalties have been racking up, but they still have an opportunity to win this ballgame.
Indeed, when you start to get penalty flags racked up on the stat sheet, it's just not going to be a positive note on the game whether you win or lose. But DVC is coming back out here after this penalty, trying to bounce back on first down, and it's 1st and 15 as Hoyer motions the receiver off to the left side, and that's number 23, Ray Jackson. Ray Jackson.
The ball's out.
And the ball is out, popped
Picked
out.
up by the Vikings.
Fumble on the play by Ray Jackson, but that's picked up by number 10, Roman Sahagan.
Yeah, good eyes by Sahagan there to keep the drive alive. That was a very bad situation to be in if you're the Vikings offense. You know, you're down by a score, you're driving down the field, and then you fumble it. That's a good job by Sahagan to keep the drive alive.
Exactly. I was taught the 5 points of pressure by Steve Mariucci, ex-49ers coach, keeping the ball tucked high and tight, but that one being able to pop the ball out for Delta College, trying to get the ball back to their offense, but DVC is going to come back out and still have a positive gain after the last play, 2nd and 11, as Hoyer drops back and throws a deep ball off to the right side, offered to Sahagan, and it's going to be way out of bounds off to the track there on the Delta sideline. But yet again, there's going to be another penalty flag, as there's an injury timeout here on the field, as a Delta player is on the ground, but DVC trying to bounce back here after the score from Delta College, down by 6 points here in the 3rd quarter, and 10:49 left here at Vikings Stadium, as DVC is going to come back after the incomplete pass on 2nd down by Hoyer. And we're going to take a quick break here, and you're tuned into football here on Watch DVC Sports. As we tune back in here at Vikings Stadium on Watch DVC Sports, as the Vikings have a first down here. Hoyer in the backfield, toss it off to the left side, pitch.
Oh, get your money, son.
Off to Rayshawn Alexander.
Absolutely.
Rayshawn Alexander not afraid of contact on that one.
He was going for the throat there, Logan. He came in, he put his shoulder pad right on the helmet. That's what you like to see. That's contact in football.
Yes, he was not afraid. And DVC comes back out, and it's 2nd and about short, for they're about 2 yards out, as Rayshawn Alexander tries to put a nifty lateral move, and he escapes off to the left side past the 10-yard, right about the 10-yard line, and that's going to be very close to the measurement on that one. Tackle made by number 10, Anthony John Gregorio.
Rayshawn Alexander came in to this game with one goal and one goal only, and that was to get this money.
Indeed. Bag is intended to be secured tonight by Rayshawn Alexander as they attempt to convert on this third down right here as they only have 1 yard to go. Hoyer breaking the huddle as they come out in trips right formation and the pistol's set. Hoyer hands the ball off to Ray Jackson. Ray Jackson fighting forward, keeping the feet moving, and they're going to move the chains, ladies and gentlemen. Ray Jackson getting the first down on that carry, getting into the red zone for DVC.
Yeah, on that play, Ray Jackson would not be denied. He knew he had a yard to get the first down, and he was not going to stop until that ball crossed the chains, and now it's going to be first and goal from the 10.
Perseverance, Noah.
Perseverance always perseveres.
Okay, yes, indeed.
Okay, all right. Moving on.
All right, anyways, Hoyer, he's in the pocket. Here we go. With the slot set, moving over, motioning off to the left side. Hoyer drops back. Tries to flip it out to the right side of Ray Jackson. Ray Jackson, intending to go into the corner, kind of slows up near the sideline there, near the 2 yard line for him. And that's going to get the DVC offense 2 yards to 3 yards out from the goal line. Being able to flip that ball out there was Hoyer to Ray Jackson. Just posted up right there.
Yeah, that's the right play by Hoyer there. He couldn't find anybody downfield in the end zone, so he dumped it off to his running back off the side, and he was able to make some moves to get it down. A very manageable second and goal from the 2 yard line.
Indeed, getting to the check down on that one for his end zone threats were not open, but flicking it out there to Ray Jackson as Hoyer takes the snap. Play action to the slant. Off to the right side to Roman Sahagan, and it's going to be a touchdown for the Vikings.
Sahagan on the slant. Catches it. Great pass from Hoyer on the inside. He's able to hang on even through the contact. And now the Vikings are poised to tie the game up as they put 6 up on the board. A great red zone attempt by the Vikings.
And that's just perfect 3-step fundamentals there displayed right there by Roman Sahagan. You know, things that you practice every single day, you know, especially simple as the slant route from quarterback to Sahagan. With the chemistry that they have, they should, you know, and definitely never drop that ball, but, you know, being able to secure the bag on that one by Sahagan.
And their delivery just had them buzzing like the pizza man. As here we go with the point after attempt.
As Prom kicks the point after, and it's going to be good for DVC. And DVC is going to trade another right hook to San Joaquin Delta for they close this deficit and go back up on top. And we're lucky enough to see some scoring exchanges in this matchup, being able to see the score go back and forth for both teams.
Yeah, you know, the thing that you love about the game of football is that you're never promised anything. You know, you got to work for everything you got, and these players are coming out and executing their defenses, offenses to the best of their abilities. And what we have is a great show and a great competition between two junior college teams, and we're getting a great fight. And as you said, Diablo Valley just threw their right hook, and now they're back on top. Let's see if the Mustangs can retaliate and come back in here midway through the third quarter.
Exactly. Nothing is ever given in football, and we're going to see how the fatigue sets in the second half. For it just gets harder and harder as the game goes on and time keeps ticking. For teams get tired, and we're going to see the conditioning of the team later on in the ball game. But seeing a close matchup like this, we're going to see intense effort all the way to the end of the ball game. And I don't expect to see anything less from both of these teams.
Like I said, Logan, it's going to be the team that wants it the most. And we'll see it unfold here in the second half. The second half is where the clutch plays are made. Dame time.
As DVC kicks the ball off, and it is received in the end zone right there by number 3, Daryl Kapule, as more flags are thrown onto the field right there near Kapule. And there's an injured Delta Mustang on the field, and there's going to be a quick timeout as we take a quick break for a second as both teams get set and catch their breath and get ready to get back on the field. With 8:11 to go in the third quarter, DVC leads the Delta Mustangs 23-22. And you're watching football here on Watch DVC Sports. As we tune back in here, Delta College comes back out on first down. And that's going to be Nordahl keeping the ball. Excuse me. A handoff to number 22, Tremaine Willis from Nordahl. But there's going to be another brief pause here in this matchup there's another offender for Delta College down on the turf here. And in this close matchup, you're gonna see some players getting fatigued, and like I said, it's starting to settle in. And I don't know if this is a moment to see a fatigue, or if it's just happened to be a moment of opportunity to get a little bit of pain or a bruise there. But definitely we're gonna start to see some players cramping up, or a little bit of dehydration possibly if they do not prepare properly. But we're gonna see a whole bunch of changes here in the second half, being able to adjust for DVC and Delta, for they prepped up their teams in the locker room.
Yeah, and it's always hard to see as you're viewing it, just as a looker on of this football game. But you can definitely tell in the second half there start to be more cramps, more bruises, more aches into the body, and those definitely take a toll when the hits start racking up over the course of a game. And we'll see who's able to withstand the punishment and the pain the longest here on the gridiron.
Indeed, as Dwayne Johnson said it, on the gridiron, Delta College coming out on second down here with the trip set off to the right, and he's going to roll out. Nordahl off to the right, passing the ball out to number 83, Cameron Calderon. And that's going to be incomplete near the DVC sideline.
Yeah, that pass was intended for the tight end there. He wasn't able to get his hand on it. He felt the pressure coming to him like a swarm of bees, and he wasn't about that action, boss.
Indeed, as he tried to catch that power pass off to the right side, rolling out Nordahl, as they come out on this 3rd and about 8. Trying to throw out a screen pass, a little bubble screen there off to the right side, but misintended there by Nordahl off to the right side.
The Mustangs come out here on 4th down, they got to be a little upset that they weren't able to move the chains like they wanted to, especially as the clock ticks down here in the 3rd quarter. They're looking to put on some points, or at least to gain the lead above the Vikings. There's definitely some bragging rights included in this game, some heavy blows left back and forth.
And as the time clock runs out for Delta College, they're going to get a delay of game here, and it's going to be moved even closer to their own end zone, and possibly getting DVC better field position here. But definitely an uncomfortable situation for the punter here, as he's going to have to back up all the way to the right of the end zone if this penalty is called for DVC.
Yeah, it's something you never like as a punter, to be pushed against your own end zone, especially when you get behind the 10 or so. You start to run out of those extra yards that you would be granted if you were in the middle of the field. It just gets a little bit more nerve-wracking as you're getting that ball up when the defenders are coming.
And indeed, and I believe the penalty was called off, or there was a clock mishap, but he's going to try and get the punt off, and almost blocked there as Josh Ramirez is back and trying to get closer to it, and they're going to give a Peter call, which means evacuate from the premises immediately.
Immediately.
And DVC vacates the premises on that one, and they get out of there. But they're going to be on their own side. Excuse me, they're going to be on Delta's side. And they're going to be near about the 38-yard line. Here near the D of midfield for DVC.
Like I said, that extra pressure back in the end zone from the punter didn't allow the punter to get the ball off like how he wanted, and now the Vikings are set up in great field position here, up by 1 point in the 3rd quarter.
Indeed, coming out in the pistol set, H-back off to the right, Hoyer in the backfield. Hands off to Ray Jackson. Ray Jackson met immediately by number 52, Gabriel Jones, in the backfield. That is a lot of man meat met right there in the backfield there.
There is a lot of
against
men.
DVC.
Absolutely. And the thing that the Mustangs have been doing a better job of here in the second half is the runs up the middle. They're plugging up the holes. They're starting to catch on and filling those holes with more bodies so the runners don't have room to operate and pick up those yards.
Indeed, a 6'2", 213 frame from Gabriel Jones meeting him in the backfield as Ray Jackson takes the carry off to the left side, and he turns on some jets, being able to evade some defenders and slipping through like he had butterscotch on his skin, and he gets through. And they're going to move the chains on this one for Ray Jackson.
Butterscotch on his skin and blue in his tint. There was no way he was getting caught. He said, "Son, get off of me." And he went up and he got those yards and he got the first down. Great field position now for the Vikings as they're set up deep in the Mustangs' territory as they look to capitalize and open up on this lead.
Indeed, open up indeed. And Hoyer on this first down near the 17-yard line for the Vikings. H-back set. Hoyer surveying left on the comeback route is Sahagan as he goes out at about the 6-yard line for DVC. Way to whiz that ball out there for Hoyer.
Yeah, good throw by Hoyer. A little nifty catch there by number 10, Sahagan, the receiver. Been the primary receiver all day. He's been targeted many times, able to catch the ball there on the left sideline, put a move, and put that ball deep into the enemy field position.
Indeed, whizzing that ball out there like a shortstop across the infield. Hoyer completes the pass to Sahagan as they get closer to their own end zone here, as Hoyer waits for the snap on first down in their own red zone. And he hands off to Ray Jackson. Ray Jackson trying to evade. And good contact met there at the line of scrimmage. Big bodies up there front for San Joaquin Delta.
San Joaquin Delta bringing some big bodies, just like you said, Logan, filling up those holes, just doing what they were doing earlier on. Able to make a good red zone stop right there.
Indeed, and a big man on the defensive front there is number 74, Coben Taylor. I'll give him the nickname of AK for the game. Standing at 6'5", 298.
Oh, he's an AK, all right.
Indeed. There on the stop against DVC, shutting down the gaps there in the middle as Hoyer motions Ross over. Hoyer looking right, flipping the ball out to Jackson. Jackson with the nifty footwork. And does he get around the pylon? And he does.
He does. He catches the ball out in the flat, able to tiptoe his way past the pylon.
Tiptoeing. Tiptoe. He tipped into that end zone.
Oh, he was tiptoeing in his Jordans, and he definitely found 6 points right there. That's what I'm talking about. Vikings offense strikes again.
That was like trying to sneak into the kitchen in the middle of the night and get a cookie.
Cookie in the cookie jar.
My goodness. Toes around the pylon. Excellent display of athleticism there and footwork by Ray Jackson, being able to get the flip-out pass from Hoyer, scoring into the end zone.
That's exactly
what you needed. And they're going to go for two here. DVC's offense staying onto the field. Hoyer getting the snap, handing off to Rayshawn Alexander, and he's going to walk into the end zone like Beast Mode himself. Untouched.
Untouched like the Untouchables.
And the thing is that DVC is now up. They're up 31-22 against San Joaquin Delta here with 4:57 left in the third quarter.
That's a great conversion. That's exactly what the Vikings needed. They just absolutely opened up this ball game. It's going to be a two-possession ball game here as the third quarter. We're coming off to the second half of the third quarter here, and the Vikings have a huge lead. Let's see if...
As DVC is up right now by about 9 points. 4:57 left. Special teams going out.
Number 3, Daryl Capule. Also 18, Max Nichols.
Daryl Capule and Max Nichols back deep to receive for San Joaquin Delta Mustangs here at Viking Stadium. Beautiful night displayed here in Pleasant Hill. As Prom gets ready for the kick, and he boots it deep to Capule. And he's breaking through, and that's number 5, Xavier Johnson, breaking tackles, but there's going to be a flag thrown into the middle of that.
Not sure what the flag was called on there for. It was a decent return by the Mustangs. He needed just a little bit more blocks to spring that forward into the end zone. Unfortunately, he wasn't able to get that. He was tackled just at around the 35-yard line.
Indeed, Xavier Johnson from Crowley High School on that return, getting through a little bit midfield. But that's going to be coming back to the 20-yard line as Delta gets a penalty, as they intend to strike back against another right hook displayed by DVC for their downs, 31-22 here in the third quarter.
Yeah, they are down by 9 points. That flag on the kick return doesn't get them off to the start that they are hoping for, but they still have plenty of time to get back in this ball game, and they just need to go play by play and try to get some yards.
Exactly. We've seen them eat up yards in this game, and I don't see them backing down anytime soon. They're going to throw a deep ball in the first play to Xavier Johnson, but a great play, and that's number 5 on number 5, Xavier Johnson, and that's going to be number 5, Josh Ramirez on the defense on that one, being able to knock down the ball. Great coverage there by Josh Ramirez. And Delta College trying to get off a deep ball right off the bat.
Yeah, what a lot of people don't realize is that it's very hard to defend the deep ball.
Indeed, they're coming right back out here, Noah.
Absolutely.
And they're going to come right back out with another deep ball, throwing it deep. And it is merely intercepted.
And a flag is on the play.
Flag on the field. And my goodness.
Just as I was saying,
they got trigger fingers, folks.
They do have trigger fingers indeed, Logan. Just as I was saying, it's very hard to defend the deep ball as a defensive back because of all the rules set in place to protect receivers from fairly catching the football. Right there, it seems that there might have been some pass interference from blocking the sight of the receiver before the ball was caught. Very fragile rules. Like I said, you have to tiptoe around it and make sure that you are aware of everything before making a play and putting your hands up as a defensive back.
Yeah, possibly not turning his head around on the defense was number 16, Daryl Walker, and number 3, Ryan Payne on the defense. But it's going to be a first down for Delta as they go through the middle, and a hardly met hit in the middle of the field. My goodness, laying the wood down there.
He definitely
was number 32, Demarius Mutchinson.
Demarius, I'm impressed by that hit, man. That sounded. Here's the next play.
Angel Senna was on the carry, and DVC is going to meet the fast-paced Delta offense right there in the middle of the field. Getting a little loss on the carry on that one was number 30, Senna. Angel Senna on the carry as they force a third down here, about 3rd and 6 for Delta.
Mustangs hurrying it up again, keeping those Vikings on their toes.
Play action pass here, going deep again for Johnson, and it's going to be deflected and incomplete, and a clean play there, no flags on the field, and that's going to force a 4th down for Delta College by the Vikings.
That was a great job by the Vikings, able to create a brick wall despite the penalty on the pass interference, which was controversial, by the way. I think the Vikings did a great job with their defense to come out and stop the Mustangs from driving down the field and keeping this game too close for comfort.
Yeah, and that was number 8, Vince Seha, on the coverage right there. But, you know,
high punt here.
And it's going to get a friendly roll for Delta as it continues to go back, and it's going to be spotted down at about the 14-yard line of DVC.
Yeah, that was a big friendly roll on the punt. Things seem to be going the Mustangs' way on that punt. Let's see if the Vikings can get out of their own territory.
Indeed, and on that last play by Seha, he had great coverage, but throwing a ball up to Xavier Johnson, you know, it's a good chance and opportunity for the offense. It's like possibly seeing Steph Curry throw up a three-pointer. It's just that there could be a possible chance, and then you never really know what's going to go in or not, because there's a good chance that he's going to receive it.
That boy Steph is cooking with the pot. He can always bang home a 3.
As Hoyer is in the backfield awaiting the snap. Tight set here. We have a 22 set. Ray Jackson takes off to the left side, keeping his legs chugging through the chest. as he gets about a 3-yard gain on the carry. Second and 6 for the Vikings. As Delta has all their men up front. With their 5-2 defense, backing back out into coverage. Hoyer getting the snap, comeback route, out to number 25, Demarie McKenzie.
That's a good catch and throw there by the quarterback and receiver for the Vikings. A lot of what football is just taking what the defense gives you, and that's exactly what the defense gave. As the corner dropped back in a deep third protection, it seemed, and the wide receiver was able to come back on a comeback route and make a great play and get out of bounds.
Exactly, and that was a great job there by number 25, Demarie McKenzie, reading what the defense gave him, which was a little bit lax coverage there on the comeback route, him being able to come back to the football with proper footwork and getting positive yardage, getting a first down for the Vikings. Here go the Vikings at their own 25-yard line. Hoyer off to the left trying to get a play-action pass going, and he's going to take off to the left side, and he's going to run out of bounds. A very smart run there by Hoyer, escaping the pocket, escaping the pressure there by the Delta defense, getting positive yardage and about an 8 to 9 yard gain on that play.
Yeah, that's a good run by Hoyer. He scanned the field, and he definitely saw that none of his receivers were open. That was good coverage by the Mustangs, but a smart play by Hoyer to break out into coverage and run for as many yards as he can get. You don't see Hoyer running the ball a lot, almost like watching a match and Mike Tyson not knocking his opponent out.
Indeed. Like a veteran move on that one, the quarterback runs out of bounds, making sure that he is safely down. You know, as we see, it's hard to see ball carriers take large hits, and as number 23, Ray Jackson gets off to the sideline, he's going to take off. Mama, he gone.
Oh, mama, he took it all the way. There are no flags on the field. Ray Jackson.
Why you got to do it to him, Ray?
Ray, don't do it to him like that. Number 23, back-to-back touchdowns right here for the Vikings, and they cut the lead up wide open. They're pouring salt in the wound now as the third quarter comes to a close here with just 1:16 left.
Hook up the landline, because that's a house call.
Hook, line, and sinker.
My goodness, they come out for the PAT. As DVC goes up 37-22.
Ray Jackson put on the wheels there like a two-door Chevy, and I'm telling you, he was gone. Nobody was catching him.
As Prom comes out for the PAT attempt. And the kick goes up through the uprights. The referees, those zebras raise their arms, and it is a good PAT. And DVC is up 38-22. A shootout here at Vikings Stadium in Pleasant Hill.
And you got to think, Logan, were you really expecting the score to be this high throughout the ballgame? I mean, I know that we did exalt these defenses a little bit, but it seems as though the offenses are really the things that are standing out and shining. As this, just like you said, is a shootout. There's a lot of scoring going on.
Indeed, we've seen DVC in ball games where they weren't able to surpass their opponents with a very large score margin, but we have seen DVC's offense being able to produce at a very high rate tonight, being able to get defensive stops early and being able to force the 3-and-out, and then being able to seize the opportunity and be able to score on their drives when they get the possession.
Yeah, that you're absolutely right. They're just spreading the butter on their bread, and they're just making the most of what they got.
And a great night here, displayed by Ray Jackson for 2 touchdowns on the night.
Most of the great offense that the Vikings have made this evening has come from their run game.
As Prom sets off the kick, and we're ready to go here with 1:16 left to go in the third. Ball goes deep, and that's going to be fielded by Xavier Johnson, number 5, as he is met early on by a great effort there by number 22, Ativa. Maualuga Clemens. Mauga Clemens, excuse me. And Delta's going to get this drive started at about the 23-yard line.
gets the jump start at their own 23-yard line. 1st and 10.
As they come out in the quads formation on 1st down, Delta College. Nerdal getting the snap, getting pressured into the pocket, and he's going to get hit as he takes off, and it's going to be an opportunity for the Vikings to pick it off, and it's going to be dropped in an incomplete pass near the D in midfield.
Somehow that pass was dropped. I really don't understand how it possibly could have happened. He threw the ball up. It was hanging in the air for a while. It seemed to be some miscommunication on the defensive end, some defenders running into each other. They weren't able to come up with a pick, and now it's going to be 2nd and 10.
You know, usually on a pass like that intended, that looks like a Hail Mary attempt as he gets hit and throws the ball up. But unfortunately for Delta, it's an incomplete pass as Nerdal goes out to the right side and he rolls out. And it's going to be incomplete near the DVC sideline as there is a penalty flag before the play was really eventually started. And it's going to be an encroachment call against DVC.
5 yards worth of penalty against DVC.
And that's going to be 5 yards eaten up right there. And it's going to be a repetition of 2nd down for Delta.
And even though that the Mustangs didn't get those yards for themselves, they got to be grateful that they get that play over, because if they need a score, now would be the time, especially down by 2 scores late in the 3rd.
Nerdal takes the snap as a tight end comes across the right side, and Ryan Payne comes across. He wraps him up.
And he gets a big gain.
And the tight end keeps his legs chugging and keeps on moving. And that's number 83, Cameron Calderon, on the reception, coming off to the right side on the arrow route, motioning out of the backfield.
Now Calderon with a great catch there in the flats, running up close to the 50-yard line at midfield, being able to pick up a 1st down, but we do have an injury on the field.
And they're going to call a penalty flag on this one as another Delta offender goes down for this moment. And that's going to be a 1st down for Delta. We're going to take a quick break here with 42.5 seconds left to go here in the 3rd quarter as DVC leads San Joaquin Delta College 38-22. And you're tuned into football here on Watch DVC Sports. Yeah. And a huge penalty here as Delta gets advanced all the way up to about the 38-yard line on DVC's side, and they're going to run a reverse off to the right side, keeping the legs moving, and he's going to get down about the 12-yard line, and that's number 88, Leon Smith Jr. on the reverse after a key penalty there that put Delta College into DVC territory.
Yeah, that reverse definitely caught the Vikings defense on their heels. They weren't ready for that, especially following the large penalty, and now they're really deep into their own territory.
And as the clock continues to run right here, Delta College coming out and with the power back, number 30, Angel Senna, right there getting upfield, getting vertical, getting positive yardage up to about the 7-yard line. And Delta's going to come out with a quick tempo here. Hand off to Senna. Senna's going to push forward and about the 4-yard line as time ticks down in the third quarter. And that's going to do it for the third quarter, folks. As we do not see any more dirty laundry on the field, for I would not be surprised, for there has been a lot of penalties tonight here at Vikings Stadium, unfortunately, for both teams. So a little bit slower pace for the game here, but we're going to take a break real quick as Delta College is in their own red zone. Excuse me, they're not in the red zone yet. They have another chance at another close first down as they were about the 7-yard line. And as we exchange a little bit of an intermission here, DVC is up against San Joaquin Delta College 38-22 as we head towards this fourth quarter. And we're having an exciting matchup here at Viking Stadium. And you're tuned into football here on Watch DVC Sports. And the ball will be placed at DVC's 5-yard line as Delta comes out in the H-back formation, tight formation. He hands off. Excuse me, he keeps it off to the right side, rolling to about the 3-yard line is the quarterback, number 16, Shadner Dahl.
That was a solid couple yards that the Mustangs picked up. Not enough to get into the end zone. Now they're facing a fourth down. Let's see what they're going to do.
And now a little bit of a unique situation here for their 4th and 2 from their own 5-yard line. So they can get a first down here if they get 2 yards within their own 5-yard line here.
Is a little bit.
And as there's a little bit of a communication error in the Delta backfield as they run into each other, DVC gets a stop in the backfield hard by number 8, Vince Saya.
The Vikings able to come up with a huge stop on fourth down. The Mustangs only needed a couple yards to pick up the first and subsequently score into the end zone, but that's not what happened as the Vikings are going to take over inside their own 10-yard line. First down and 10 for the Vikings.
Like I said, a very unique situation. They were 4th and 2 from their own 5-yard line, so they only needed 2 yards and only 5 yards to get the touchdown, and were able to actually succeed, to actually not get anything on that one.
Wow. Hard to believe that they didn't get anything.
Because they possibly had an opportunity to have good production there, but we're not able to seize the opportunity as DVC comes back out, first down from their own 5-yard line. Hoyer with the H-back off to the left side. Running back offset to the right. Handoff to number 37, Brendan Johnson.
He will get stuffed in the backfield.
And he is stuffed like a Thanksgiving turkey in the backfield on that one.
That's right. Wrap it in some tin foil, stick it on a pan, put it in the oven, and call it a day. That's no gain.
As we approach second down here at DVC's 12-yard line.
2-yard pickup, 2nd and 8.
Hoyer coming back out. H-back off to the right and running back off to the right too. As Delta shifts their coverage, and there's going to be a handoff to the right side, and he's going to lower his shoulder, and that's going to be number 19, Zane Cribb, going off to the right side, but a very nice hit right there on DVC's sideline. And I hear him moaning and groaning over here, Noah Williams. What do you think about that hit on that one?
I mean, I really don't even know what to say. It was just disrespectful. He said, "Come here, little boy," and put a shoulder in his helmet, and got bink-bocked all the way out into the field.
Indeed, a very close close one on that one is you know, when you lead in with your shoulder, you could possibly get head-to-head contact, possibly get a flag, but a very good technique and fundamental tackle there, right there by, I believe it was number 44, Jaquan Williams on the tackle.
When you bring defenders on a field, you want a group of boys that are going to come out ready to make some contact, ready to make some plays, ready to get some big hits, and ready to make some stops. That's exactly what we saw, all wrapped up in a cute little bundle there on that defensive play. Now it's going to be 3rd down and 3 on the 13-yard line for the Vikings.
Indeed, dog mentality seen from both defenses tonight at Viking Stadium. Hoyer into the backfield with trips formation off to the left, 3rd down. And he's going to get the ball off to an arrow route to Sahagan. Roman Sahagan getting the 1st down off to the left side. At about the DVC 17-yard line, getting the 1st down. As a very talented baseball chain gang moves the chains for a 1st down for the Vikings.
Shout out Diablo Valley College baseball. Go Vikings. Y'all some dogs.
Indeed, working hard down there. But working even harder are both of these teams tonight in this matchup, for it's very competitive. With the high-scoring matchup here is Hoyer motions off to the right side, gives the ball off to Rayshawn Alexander. Alexander fighting as much as he can. And as we see the tenacity of the DVC offensive linemen on these ones, continuing to push until the final whistle.
Absolutely. This is a very aggressive, toned game, and you can definitely see the big men in the trenches getting after it, seeing who really is the more bigger, more physical, and better lineman in this matchup.
Indeed, we're coming out in the trip set off to the right. Running back not all set. He's right behind Hoyer. As he gets it off to the arrow right off to the right side, and that's going to be an excellent tackle there by number 7, Trey Wortham, as he has been all over the field tonight, influencing the DVC offense, for he has had an interception tonight and had key tackles and deflections here in tonight's matchup.
He definitely has been all over the field, and you can't say enough about his tackling tonight as well. You saw the play right there, diving in like a missile, right above the knees. You know they're going after Sahagan, the top targeted receiver for the Vikings, so that's just a great defensive stop right there.
Indeed, just jumping around on that attempt to get the ball out there from Hoyer. As Roman Sahagan goes off to the left in motion, 3rd down here for the DVC Vikings. A little bit of mishap, snap off to the right. And Hoyer's going to go for it, and he's going to throw a bomb, and that's going to be caught downfield by number 9.
Wow.
Justin Ross.
Wow.
Justin Ross showing who's boss on that reception right there on the deep ball.
He said, I'm the boss on that play. Aired it out over a 30-yard pass on the play, crossing over midfield, went over and high-pointed the ball on the sideline and said, that's my ball, boss. This is my completion. And now it's going to be a 1st down for the Vikings as they look to set the tempo, really set the tempo here in the 4th quarter as they're ahead by 2 scores, looking to put some more points on the board and knocking on the door of the Mustangs.
Showing who's boss. Listening to some Maybach music before the game.
Maybach music.
Here we go with the crackback block, number 17 coming in. But that is Rayshawn Alexander off to the right side, getting positive yardage up to about the 33-yard line for DVC. Coming back with a 1-2 punch combo, deep ball on that one, and a good carry right there by Rayshawn Alexander, keeping the clock moving here. And we're going to see Delta having less and less opportunity to come back in this ball game as they are down 38-22 here in the 4th quarter.
Set up from the 33-yard line. Here's Hoyer in the backfield.
Hoyer, as the defense for Delta gets set up, and a little bit of overload to the left as number 87 gets the reception, and he dives for the 1st down.
Seems to be another flag on the field, though.
And he gets it, but there's another yellow flag on the field. And I believe this is going to be coming back for DVC. And it's going to move in the negative direction for the Vikings.
So like we've been saying all night, the penalties really hurting the Vikings. Even though it may be too late for the Mustangs to come back here, there is still 9.5 minutes left, and they're only down by 2 scores. So, if the Mustangs can stop the Vikings from scoring any more and putting any more points on the board, they still have a very realistic chance of coming back into this ballgame.
Yeah, I would not count out Delta College right here, as I would not say that they're out of this game. I mean, but they're getting less and less of the chance as DVC comes out in the trips formation and he motions off to the left, number 83, Jacob Sprung. And Hoyer escapes the pressure, off out of the pocket, throws it deep off to the left sideline, and it's going to be caught, but it's going to be out of bounds, unfortunately, intended for number 25, Demarie McKenzie.
Yeah, McKenzie wanted that pass. You could tell he was trying to get his feet in bounds on the sideline, just throwing a little bit too far off the left side, and he wasn't able to get the conversion or the completion. Now it's going to be 3rd and 12 for DVC from the 42.
Now a little bit Carson Wentz-esque, being able to escape the pocket, trying to get the ball deep into a receiver's hands, but possibly could end up in a defender's hands on that one, trying to escape the pocket and trying to rush a pass on that one. But luckily was just an incomplete pass. But Hoyer drops back on this 3rd down at about 12 as number 17 catches the reception. That's number 17, Joseph Cedillo. On about a 3-yard gain on the reception, and he is met very fast there by a gang of Delta College tacklers.
Yeah, I believe Hoyer made the right decision on that pass. He was open, he was running towards the field. That was just a great job by the Mustangs defense to come and swarm them like a pack of killer bees and stop them before anything could really get going. Now it's going to be 4th and 9, and the Vikings will get set to punt here with 8.5 minutes left in the 4th.
And as time keeps on ticking, 8:15, DVC's punting team out there.
That's a good punt.
And there's going to be some more dirty laundry on the field near Delta College's sideline as he receives the punt. A very short return there by Delta College, but yet again another penalty flag thrown here, and it's going to be against Delta College, and it seems like to be an offsides penalty.
And it seems to me that definitely by far in this game, especially the Vikings, this is the most penalties that they've had in a game, or at least it has to come close because most of the game has been taken away, and it's been prolonged.
You want to talk about efficient yard eaters? The most efficient yard eater on this field is not from DVC or Delta College. It is the penalty flags from the referees eating up the most yards in this ballgame.
Absolutely. A very clever statement made by Logan Noni. Shout out to Logan Noni's. Good job.
All right, here we are. And there's about 8 minutes left as we have a brief period of pause here as DVC plans to come out and stop Delta College at about their own 10-yard line as Delta comes out with 1st down.
Delta goes on the offense, ball at the 10-yard line. It's 1st and 10 for the Mustangs.
As there is a timeout called as both teams head back over to their sidelines. The referees have a brief moment to collect themselves, and time is stopped at 8:03 as DVC leads San Joaquin Delta Mustangs 38-22 with about 8 minutes left to go in this 4th quarter. And you're tuned into Vikings football here on Watch DVC Sports. And as we continue the confusion here with the referees in Vikings Stadium, hostility is increasing against the referees here in this matchup at Vikings Stadium.
It's been increasing. Oh, the Vikings. Look,
and as they try to jump and hurdle over the Delta defenders, Rayshawn Alexander is stopped right in the middle of the backfield.
Yeah, he tried to LT that. He tried to jump over the whole line of scrimmage there and all the big boys, but he got met in the air, and you could hear the click, clack, bang with the helmets hitting. He wasn't able to get the first down, ladies and gentlemen. The Mustangs coming up with a good defensive stop right there. They're going to take over the ball at the 31-yard line, 1st and 10.
Indeed, trying to hurdle a defender with his athleticism, but being met by 4 people, you can't hurdle all those. So being stopped in the backfield by a hard hit right there by Delta as Nardal comes back out on 1st down at Delta's 32-yard line. Nardal looking off to the right, surveys right, and a little bit misfired there, a little bit short, intended for number 15, Devon King. As Delta comes back out, 2nd and 10, as the clock stops here on their own 32-yard line. As they come out with the trip set to the right, running back off to the left, spread formation, and a little bit of a flip pass, almost met in the backfield very quickly. And he is put up in the blender.
Yeah, that's one of those big hits. It hit him so hard, I mean, it was almost uncomfortable to watch.
Exactly, it's very uncomfortable, and I know exactly what number 30, Angel Senna, is feeling, and he's getting contact from all directions right there from the Vikings defense, but excellent way of getting the reception, trying to get positive yards on that one. As Nardal escapes the pocket, tries to throw, and he's going to get the 1st down up across the left side, getting past the 45-yard line. Excuse me, getting up to the 44-yard line.
Very
was
smart.
number 16 as his number is falling off of his jersey, displaying the effort that is being spread through the DVC defense from his running. This is number 16, Shad Nardal, with the quad set here for Delta as he hands the ball off to number 30, Angel Senna, trying to get what he can as the clock gets to running. Good tackle there by number 91, Ravine Nasile.
Yeah, that was a good tackle.
Excuse me.
Good tackle by number 91, the defensive lineman right there, wrapping up the legs right at the line of scrimmage. And no matter what happens after that, I mean, all the hitting that happens after, you knew he wasn't going anywhere. Now it's going to be 2nd and 9 for the Mustangs.
As DVC showing a full house front, and there's going to be a flag on the play. And he's going to be met in the backfield, but there's going to be what seems to be an unnecessary roughness call or a possible targeting penalty on DVC. On Delta's sideline, as the running back went down on that carry, for he took a very devastating hit on their own sideline.
Yeah, he definitely did take a pretty big hit there on the sideline by 2 Vikings defenders. And there seems to be some frustration from the Mustangs sideline.
And you got to know as a defender, I mean, you want to be as aggressive as possible and continue to attack until the whistle is blown. But when you see that ball carrier going down towards the ground, you don't want to, lead in with your head or even a shoulder at that chance because, possibility of getting a penalty just like we just saw on that Delta sideline.
Yeah, definitely. You want to steer clear away from stuff like that as a defender. When you see the ball carrier going towards the ground, just don't stick your head in there. Even if you might not think that it might be a penalty or you're not targeting, the refs see it a different way. And more than anything, it's just not safe.
Yes, indeed. The most important thing about that is exactly the safety of the player.
Definitely, safety.
And even though we come out here as football players and try to exemplify physicality at its at its highest level, we want to keep all the players safe. And especially with the evolution of the game nowadays, we're continuing to get the game safer and safer as Delta College drops back and tries to get the pass over to the right side, intended for number 83, Cameron Calderon. Number 16, Shadner Dahl, whizzing that ball out to the right side as we near a second down here at Delta College's 35-yard line.
That was the right play call right there by the offense. I think that ball was put a little too far ahead on that seam in the slot right there, and it was incomplete. Now it's second and down.
Exactly. Maybe a quicker receiver in the slot could have got to that ball, but as a tight end and as a big body or possible blocking
Getting off
slot
that
receiver,
reroute.
exactly.